Dr. David Jockers, and today we're talking about 10 foods for energy and performance. And so all of us really want more energy and higher performance in our lives, whether we're an athlete, whether we are a businessman or female, whether we are a stay-at-home mom or a stay-at-home dad. We want to be able to have great energy, and we want to be able to perform at our optimal level no matter what we're doing. And we know food is really the fuel for high energy and performance. And so let's talk about some key factors when it comes to consuming the right foods for optimal energy and high level performance. And so before we get into that, just a little bit about myself. My name is Dr. David Jockers. I am a doctor of natural medicine. I speak all over the country at churches and all different types of organizations and events, and a lot of online health summits. So you can see here the Heal Your Gut Summit and the Truth About Cancer and a lot of different things like that. And I'm sought out really around the world. And my specialties is in the ketogenic diet, high energy, high level performance. And that's something I'm super passionate about. And then this is my beautiful wife, Angel, and my two little boys, David and Joshua, twin boys, and the pride of my life. And so let's jump into this, the 10 foods for high level energy and performance. And you can see them listed here. We're going to go through each one, but these are foods that I try to consume on a regular basis, that I have them in my diet on a regular basis, at least a few times a week, that I make sure that I'm consuming these foods. And the vast majority of them are the staple foods. Like you look at coconut, that's really the staple food in my diet. I'm getting tons of calories from coconut oil and coconut milk and coconut flakes and coconut butter. I eat at least one avocado every day, sometimes 2 avocados. I love to have onions and spinach and big salads with those. Berries, if I'm making a shake, sometimes I'll put some berries in there. A lot of times I like to go real low carb, but that's the kind of fruit that I'll use on a regular basis. Grass-fed butter, I eat tons of grass-fed butter. That's usually going with my dinner. I will melt butter on if we're doing fajitas or some sort of a meat and vegetable dish. If we're doing cauliflower, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, I'm melting grass-fed butter on there. I love raw chocolate. I love my chocolate bone broth protein that I'll use on a regular basis. And sometimes I'll use a different type of protein, particularly a pea protein or hemp. And so we'll talk a little bit about that. Also, of course, doing grass-fed, pasture-raised animal products. Huge fan of that. So let's jump into this. So coconut oil, one of the best things we could possibly be doing for our body. Coconut oil is rich in medium chain triglycerides that are easy in our digestive system. We don't need bile in order to break them down. They help fuel our brain. They help turn into ketones to provide that fuel source for our brain and to stabilize our blood sugar levels. They're also very antimicrobial. They help to kill off yeast, bad bacteria, parasites. So coconut oil, this tropical staple, really should be a staple in our diet. We should be getting a lot of our calories from coconut oil and coconut products. I personally recommend getting a minimum of 3 tablespoons of coconut oil in your diet every single day. And that could be coming from other coconut sources like coconut milk. If you get full fat coconut milk, a full can of that is equivalent to 4 tablespoons. You can also do it through coconut butter. You can put coconut oil on your skin. You can also get something like XCT oil or MCT oil, which is a coconut derivative. It's made from coconut oil and it turns into ketones very quickly, and you can put that in different things. You can put coconut oil, obviously melt it in your foods, put it in your shakes. I mean, there's so many different ways of doing it. I personally get roughly somewhere between 6 to 10 tablespoons of coconut oil into my diet and on my body every single day, 6 to 10 tablespoons. And it's actually a lot easier than you think. Okay, now if you're lighter than me, I'm 160, 165 pounds. If you're lighter, if you're a 100-pound woman, obviously 6 tablespoons can be a lot. So you might be looking at more like 3 or 4 tablespoons. But the reality is that it's a lot easier than you think to get good, high-quality coconut fats into your diet on a regular basis. Blueberries, so berries in general, super amazing for the body. The pigmentation of the berry is a nutrient called anthocyanins. And anthocyanins basically are an adaptation that the plant made to protect itself from UV light, from radiation. And so when we consume these, we take on these antioxidant properties. They're very rich in antioxidants. They're also low in sugar. So blueberries, blackberries, raspberries, which are very rich in ellagic acid, which is a very powerful anti-carcinogenic nutrient. So getting berries into our diet in small amounts, because we don't want too much sugar, but in small amounts, amazing for our body, really, really helps us prevent chronic disease, improve circulation. And when you improve circulation, you're going to improve brain function. And anytime you improve brain function, you're going to improve energy and performance. So we want these types of things. All right, gut healing protein. This is something I'll put, especially my patients with leaky gut or autoimmunity on. This is a pea protein. Pea protein is awesome for the body. It's a great prebiotic. So it helps to feed good microbes in our gut and helps them to flourish so they can produce the B vitamins and all the short chain fatty acids, the things that we need in order to thrive. So pea protein is great for that. The gut healing protein has a lot more than that in it. It also has ginger, curcumin. It has watercress. It has really like a full phase 1 through 3 liver bile detoxification system in it and a multivitamin in it. So this is why I use it for a lot of chronic health conditions. I'll use this gut healing protein to help somebody, in a sense, get out of a chronic disease and really start to restore life and health to their body. Then I switch them over to the bone broth protein, which is a great lifestyle protein powder to be using on a regular basis. So let's talk about spinach. Why is there this Popeye effect? Is that myth, or is there truth and reality to it? Well, actually, believe it or not, there's truth and reality to it. Spinach, not only is it a rich source of chlorophyll, which is incredible for blood purification and detoxification, it's also rich in lutein and zeaxanthin, which are powerful carotenoid antioxidants in there. But also on top of that, and of course, it's got a lot of trace minerals and other antioxidants like vitamin C that are in there. But there's a unique compound called phytoecdysteroids. And these are basically similar to steroids that certain insects will secrete within their body to give them growth factors. And these phytoecdysteroids that are in spinach, they help to increase glucose metabolism. So they actually help your body to reduce and stabilize blood sugar. And they've also been shown to increase muscle tissue growth by 20% in a cultured medium. So they do have a positive effect. So Popeye, there is truth behind him getting stronger when he ate spinach. Now, I don't recommend eating it in the can. I recommend getting it fresh, that you can get really almost at any grocery store nowadays. You can get fresh, organic baby spinach. You definitely want to get that organic because it can be highly sprayed if it isn't. So spinach is awesome. Grass-fed butter, one of my favorites. I do lots of butter. And butter is one of the richest sources of CLA, conjugated linoleic acid, which is awesome for helping to speed up metabolism, burning fat, boosting up things like HDL, high-density lipoprotein, the good, quote-unquote, good cholesterol. Also, grass-fed butter, or CLA, is very anti-carcinogen, really helps protect our body from cancer growth. Grass-fed butter is also the best source of a short-chain fatty acid called butyrate, and that's really what your gut bacteria produce. When they eat prebiotics, they'll produce butyrate, and I see a lot of stool tests where people have very low butyrate levels, very low short-chain fatty acid levels. That's going to cause more inflammation in the digestive system as well as the arterial beds. And believe it or not, a study showed, or several studies have showed, that higher levels of butyrate. So again, grass-fed butter provides the butyrate. Higher levels of butyrate, reduced risk of heart disease and cardiovascular inflammation. So a lot of people think, well, butter is going to clog your arteries. Couldn't be further from the truth. The butyrate actually helps to de-inflame the arterial beds and the capillaries. It's actually the sugar, consuming sugar and trans fats, that will damage your arteries. So you want to stay away from those. Very rich source of vitamin A, as well as vitamin D and K2, really critical for healthy bone metabolism, thyroid function, adrenals, cardiovascular health, your eyes, retinol, fat-soluble vitamin A is really important for night vision, being able to see well at night. So vitamin A, also very important for the immune system. Same thing with vitamin D and K2, super critical for that. It's also a very rich source of omega-3 fatty acids, which reduce inflammation. And then it's got a ton of other nutrients in there. like phosphatidylcholine, which is really good for brain function and helping with memory. That you improve your memory, you're going to improve performance. There's also lecithin in there, which again is great for neurotransmitter function and brain cell formation, and a lot of different trace minerals like magnesium and zinc and selenium, which all really keep for energy and high level performance. So eat more butter, get the butter in there. And again, you want the grass-fed butter because grass-fed butter is rich in omega-3s. Grain-fed butter is rich in omega-6 fats, which cause inflammation in the body. We don't want those. Grass-fed butter is also a lot more dense in vitamin A. So we definitely want the grass-fed. You can see that Kerrygold there, grass-fed butter is what you're looking for. How about onions? Onions are great, particularly red onions. Red onions are rich in anthocyanins, like we saw there with the berries. On top of that, they're very rich in chromium. And chromium is a key trace mineral that's very important for blood sugar stability. Many people are deficient in chromium, so onions are one of the best food sources of chromium. They're also rich in sulfur-containing amino acids, which help boost glutathione, detoxify our body, protect our immune system, and downregulate inflammation in our body. So onions are awesome. How about avocados? Avocados are very rich in lutein and zeaxanthin, real powerful carotenoid antioxidants, also a great source of folate, vitamin C and potassium, as well as certain nutrients that are key for adrenal glands and neurotransmitters like vitamin B5 and B6. Avocados are also a great source of fiber. There's actually a very rich source of fiber. A lot of people, when they go on a low-carb diet, they think, but I need my oatmeal in order to move my bowels well. I need my fiber. And they don't realize that actually an avocado has a similar fiber ratio as oatmeal. So consuming an avocado on a daily basis will provide really good fiber to help keep the bowels moving, as well as a lot of different minerals like potassium and magnesium as well that are very important for bowel tone and the peristaltic muscle contractions coming from the bowels. So we definitely want avocados. And then dark chocolate. I mean, this has got to be everybody's favorite, right? We're all excited to see this. And so dark chocolate, very, very rich in flavanol, antioxidants, and as well as a ton of different trace minerals in there, magnesium, copper, manganese, calcium. So it's very rich in different trace minerals and antioxidants. Also very rich in something called theobromide, which is a similar family as caffeine, and it helps really dilate blood vessels to the brain. So it helps drive up more blood flow to the brain. Chocolate also helps boost up serotonin and dopamine production for better neurotransmitter support, so you feel good. It's also very rich in something called PEAs, and PEAs are basically things that help to boost up endorphins. So you just feel really good when you consume the chocolate. And that is why it can be addicting. So you do have to watch that perspective. But doing a small amount of 100% or close to that dark chocolate on a daily basis can be amazing. Or using raw cacao, so raw cacao powder, or you can do things like Lily's dark chocolate. They have dark chocolate chips, which are sugar-free. They use stevia and erythritol in their chocolate chips. So you can do things like that. So the key is with the chocolate, you want to keep the sugar out, but do the chocolate, which is amazing for the body. And one way I like to get my chocolate is in my bone broth protein powder. The chocolate flavor is absolutely unreal, tastes amazing, and it's using organic dark chocolate. And so that's very important. That's just so good. And so bone broth protein. And what are the benefits of bone broth? Well, really the benefits of bone broth are they're very rich in collagen protein, gelatin, which is really key for discs in our body. So like all of our intervertebral discs, our joints, it's all collagen and gelatin. Hyaluronic acid, which is really key for joints. Chondroitin sulfate. A lot of people go out and they get glucosamine and chondroitin supplementation. Well, that's what you have in your bone broth. These glycosaminoglycans, different amino acids like glycine, proline, trace minerals like phosphorus, calcium, magnesium, potassium. So a lot of really, really good stuff. Great for the nervous system, great for the joints, the bones. The collagen is also what makes up our skin and our hair. So great for that. Really good for the immune system and for the gut, healing a gut. It's probably the best food for helping to heal a damaged gut. So doing bone broth on a regular basis is amazing. You can certainly make your own or purchase it. And then on top of that, you can also do bone broth protein powder, which is an incredible way to get the benefits of bone broth without actually having to make your own. So this is basically chicken bones, free-range chicken bones, and they grind them up and they make a protein powder out of them. And there's all these great flavors. They are very low carb. Most of them have 0 carbohydrates or maybe 1 carbohydrate per serving, 20 grams of high quality bone broth protein, something I consume on a daily basis to help my joints, my energy, my immune system, my skin taste good or taste really good. And I put it in shakes on a regular basis, a phenomenal functional food that, really benefit everybody. So if you want to find that, you can find it right on my website, drjockers.com, or click the article, the 10 foods for energy, best foods for energy and performance, which is right in the narrative for this video. Go ahead and click that. It'll take you to the article. You can read more about all of these superfoods, including you'll read a little bit about the Kuna Indians, basically they live in the Panama area. And they have some that live on the islands and some that live on the mainland. And the ones on the islands eat a lot more raw chocolate. This overall as a population, the Kuna Indians consume a tremendous amount of chocolate, raw cacao. And so the ones on the islands consume a lot more than the ones on the mainland. And the ones on the islands were studied by researchers from Harvard, and they were shown to have a 1,280% lower risk of heart disease and a 630% lower risk of cancer. And the big difference in their diet was the consumption of raw chocolate. So it can be good, can be healthy. Another study, April 2007, the Archives of Internal Medicine found that cocoa was more effective at lowering blood pressure than green and black tea, which all green tea, black tea, and cocoa or raw cacao all have the same polyphenols, ECGC, epigalactin, catechin in them. And so they all have a great effect at lowering blood pressure, but cacao or raw chocolate was the best. I think it's the combo of the theobromide with the with the ECGC that's in there, the epigalactic catechin has a real powerful effect at lowering, stabilizing blood pressure. So anyways, with that being said, guys, awesome presentation here today. Go ahead, start consuming those foods on a regular basis. If you do, I guarantee you're going to see some pretty remarkable health benefits, and we will see you on a future broadcast. Bless you guys.